Hello, welcome to Next Day After Leftovers Book Club,
The leftovers.
Literature
Leftovers book club.
Leftovers Book Club, Black Friday Special with your hosts, Shiny Quarter and Lionel Itchy.
I was like, do you remember your name?
No, no, I almost forgot it. I don't say I because it used to be like in the Twitch people. If you're
Mm-hmm.
hearing us on YouTube, might not make sense, but in Twitch, Lionel Itchy is like I came up with that and I was like when I was chatting and people would say, "Oh, Lionel Itchy," they would say that and it was like stuck, so it made sense to stream with that name. But now everyone calls me Itchy, even my people in real life, like my neighbors.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, well, your
so
neighbor knows that you stream and knows
yeah,
your stream name. So,
but I mean, he knows my real name too, so he calls me Mister Itchy.
Mhm.
The kids call me Mister Itchy, which sounds professional, professional and
It
unprofessional
does.
at the same time.
Professional itch.
Is that a job?
Look,
I don't know.
I I get itchy skin in the winter, and I can't talk about it because it now weirds me out to say that I have itchy skin.
Yeah, that's odd. What do you? It's like a video
What am I
game.
doing with your skin? Why do I have
Yeah.
it?
Okay. Buffalo Bill collecting skin. Um, but yes, but I do thank you all for coming through here on this post gluttony.
Post gluttony.
Yeah,
Well, for some people.
for some people, not
Some
everyone.
people didn't have gluttony.
No,
I had no gluttony.
no gluttony.
No gluttony for me.
You don't have to go all out, but I tend to. I didn't eat all
I
day.
did I did do a grocery order today and got 2 cans of pureed pumpkin.
Oh,
So
yeah. So it's
pie
on.
is gonna happen before the end of the year.
Good, good. I was having a conversation at a DJ stream last night when I was at my DJ stream, but
I was
there
gonna
was
say, was it yours by
yes,
any
it was. I
chance?
was like, yes, I was there. um, no, they were talking how Thanksgiving is a vibe, food wise, but it's not like you. I don't really go out for that kind of food for the remainder of the year, or for the rest of the year. I usually just kind of
Yeah, it's
reserve
Thanksgiving and then
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
not again.
yeah. I don't like find myself making stuffing. Any
Okay,
other?
but they do stuffing more often here. It's very different. Actually, I heard you talking about stuffing.
Hmm.
I don't know why. Maybe it was before I fell asleep.
Yeah.
But or I woke up in a dream and you were talking about stuffing. I don't know. But I love stuffing. I didn't when I was a kid at all.
Yeah.
That was like wasted carb or it's like wasted calories for
Yeah.
me. I was much more interested in potatoes and turkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they do stuffing much more here because stuffing is part of or can be part of Sunday roast.
Mm.
And Sunday roast could be roast beef, but it could be roast chicken.
Yeah.
And so you quite often in like shops get pre-made sandwiches of chicken and sage and onion dressing, which is stuffing.
It sounds
And
incredible.
it's like it's so good. They're so good, these sandwiches.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like they have something that's equivalent to stovetop. It's not stovetop, it tastes different.
Yeah.
It's called Paxo is the brand, and they do a sage and onion stuffing that you can just like put some boiled water in it and stir it up, and it like you've got stuffing, and it's actually decent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've become quite the fan of stuffing as
I
an
like it.
adult.
I think because I tried. I was like it was always stovetop stuffing, and that has a
Mm,
very distinctive taste. And it's I feel like if
hmm
I'm not saying you have to reinvent the wheel, but I don't know, like straight up stovetop. Like I get tired of it. It's a little too.
No, I would as well.
Yeah. I didn't. My mom made that a lot. Another
My
day.
my mom, when she remarried, my stepdad was like, my Aunt Ruth's cornbread stuffing is the best in the
Mm,
world. It's the
mm.
only one I like. And so my mom had to like find like she had to go to the Aunt Ruth, who was old and lived up in the Appalachian Mountains because they
Mm-hmm.
were mountain people originally.
Yeah.
And she got the recipe. She made it the first year after she got the recipe, and he's like, "There's not enough sage in it." Now, I am of the belief that because he smoked cigarettes, he could no longer taste properly.
Mm,
But
mm.
then, like the next year, she doubled the sage because she followed the recipe exactly. She doubled the sage, and he's like, "It's good. There's still not enough sage in it." So
Wow.
then
What
the
is he? What
third year,
is he making him witch's pot? It's like
I
so I think of
think
it's like sage. That makes me
the
think of magic.
the third year she quadrupled the sage, and he said that was enough. And it actually wasn't too much for like me. I
Yeah.
thought, if you're going to his deadened taste buds, maybe it would be too much for me, but it was really good.
Yeah.
And
No.
it was like
Yeah.
good cornbread that she made from scratch. Like it
That's
was
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I've seen different recipes and all that. I guess like if I tried, I tried different. I guess I'm just have the stovetop left up. Not the best taste in my mouth over the
Hmm.
years, but then I've tried many other stuffings. Nothing that it's not like a stuffing that is totally abstract. It wasn't like I'm talking about this people doing homemade stuffings, and I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
I like this. But anyway, you can making me full again.
Sorry.
I just relieved.
I
Like,
mean, I'm even trying to finish eating right now because it's like dinner time here.
mmm. I scarfed down some Dunkin' Donuts breakfast sandwich.
Duncan. Oh,
Oh,
I had Pablo's for breakfast today, which is
cool.
the best breakfast sandwich. It's a
Nice.
bao bun.
Bao
I think
bun.
I've told you about it.
Oh, yeah,
But for
yeah.
those who have never heard me
My
talk about
my
Pablo's,
daughter
it's
loves bao buns.
well, so this is a bao bun with a hash brown, uh, sausage patty, egg, cheese, and sriracha
What?
and
I'm there.
sriracha mayo.
Oh,
It's
sriracha
so
mayo.
good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it has sriracha
So,
and sriracha mayo,
yeah,
and
I'm sold.
it's beautiful.
You can
It's
put that.
beautiful, but
You can put that on
I
the
can
church
still
shoe,
eat
and I'll
them
eat
because
it.
they're small. So yeah, I only allow myself every 2 weeks to have Pablo's. Otherwise, I think I'll ruin the joy of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's good. That's a good move. You don't want to overdo it.
Mhm.
Um, I think that I kind of feel that way about Thanksgiving food. Like I allow myself to get crazy with the stuffing and everything
Mm.
else. But anyway, we have
Anyway, we
two
have
stories, our regular two stories. Uh,
one
f-
from a new
ha-
to us author, and one
yeah,
is a revisited author.
yes, and somewhat of a thematic pick over here because of
Mm.
because of the holiday, right? Because this is
Mm-hmm.
about we are approaching December, and this is a Christmas memory, and
Mm-hmm.
that's for a long one. So, but before that, we have a story about an author that I wanted to do for a while. That I wasn't really familiar with a lot of her short stories, but I did read her novel, The Bell Jar,
Mm.
and I'm excited to do Sylvia Plath. Now, what have you unearthed about this very
Well, there's quite a
unique?
lot about her despite
Yeah,
her
yeah,
short life.
she is that like before you even start like this woman has been written about. She's kind of like this very I don't know. She's mysterious. It's not like there's a lot of things around. She dated a poet and she had like this
She married a poet.
married a poet. Yeah, and but
Mm.
she was I feel like there's like this almost like she has a mythical type of legacy. I don't know
Yeah,
for things. I mean,
I do. I do wonder if part of that is the fact that she died so young.
yeah, yeah,
Because I find that happens sometimes with like actors. Like
yeah,
Heath Ledger
yeah.
died young, and so he
River
becomes this
Phoenix,
like
River Phoenix.
River Phoenix. Exactly,
I
they
that's
become this like
yeah, yeah.
unicorn almost because of that.
I get like this River Phoenix vibe from her,
Mm.
like someone, and this is very appropriate that the biography that was put out, Red Comet, I believe that's what it's
Mm.
called. I always I have to look that up.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, so first of all, I'm just gonna say up front that this involves suicide. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and because of Sylvia Plath's depression, there's actually the Sylvia Plath effect, which is um, a theory that artists, particularly writers, poets, have a tendency towards having depression and
Hmm.
mental health issues.
Yeah,
Um,
I believe it.
but we will start at the beginning with her. She was born October 27, 1932 in Boston. Her parents were immigrants. Her father was from Germany and her mother was from Austria. Her father died when she was 8. And this was quite important in her life. Obviously, death of a parent is always quite uh, a key moment, but especially because it's when she lost her faith, because she was raised in a church, but she just became ambivalent to religion after her father died.
Mm.
Uh, Also, at the age of 8, she published her first poem in the Boston Herald's children's section. She went on to high school and college. And after her third year in college, she got a position as a guest editor at Mademoiselle magazine and went to New York for a time. It was around this time her depression became apparent. She missed a meeting that the editor of the magazine, like the regular editor of the magazine, um, made with like people from the magazine and Dylan Thomas. And she loved Dylan Thomas. According to her boyfriend at the time, she loved Dylan Thomas more than life itself.
Mm.
And she missed this meeting and she like hung out in places hoping to run into him. And this was when she started hurting herself and then
Mm.
eventually tried to commit suicide for the first time. She did make a couple of attempts at suicide over the course of her life. She, and things happened in her life. She got like good things. She got a Fulbright scholarship, which is my cousin got a Fulbright scholarship, but his was for music. But it's essentially a scholarship for Americans to go to Europe to study. So she went to the University of Cambridge,
Mm.
um, to one of the all-female schools. But it was while she was over there that she met poet Ted Hughes, and they got married. They lived in England for a time, then came back to the States for a time, and then back to England um, towards the end of her life. Uh, but while they were in the States, they ended up staying at Yaddo, which we've talked about before. One of our other authors stayed at Yaddo. It was an artist community.
Mm.
And she said when she was there, she learned to be true to her own weirdness. That was her direct quote.
Wow.
Um, they had children. She also had miscarriages. All of these things weighed on her, and she continued to deal with depression. Uh, the Bell Jar was released in January, and she killed herself in February, like a month after the Bell Jar was
I did
released.
not
She was 30
know
years
that.
old.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's some like discussion around her death because people said that she really planned it. Her children were upstairs, but she made sure that they wouldn't be harmed because she did it through carbon monoxide poisoning with the oven. So she was like really careful to seal the oven so that nothing would get to her children. Um, but equally, she had just recently been put on medication that one of the known it was antidepressant medication, but one of the side effects was it could increase suicidal tendencies, which
Mm.
is something that happens on a lot of antidepressants, which seems counterproductive, but for the people that they work for, they don't do that. It's only for the people that that's not the medication for them that it can tend to do that.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
but it was
I've
also
heard that
like the day before a nurse was supposed to come in to help with the children, like a nursemaid, not a nurse, I think. Um, so yeah, it's like she picked like the perfect time to do it to where she could get away with it. Um, but it's very
Yeah.
interesting that, you know,
The manner in which
it
she did
it
it
caused
was,
this like mystery around it.
yeah. I always thought the manner in which she did it was so like very graphic. I mean,
Mm,
putting your head in the oven. I'm sure. What did she
yeah.
seal the sides so that she?
Yeah, she taped it up with like blankets
Yeah.
and tape to make sure that
It would,
nothing would get into the rest of the house with the kids.
yeah. That's. I feel like that's almost like a pop culture. I don't know if there's any adaptations to things, or there was like a biopic of her, but I remember seeing something like that scene acted out somewhere. I forgot where it was,
Mm.
but
It probably was a biopic, I think.
yeah,
I can't remember now.
yeah,
But she's definitely someone who has kind of mythic status.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think a lot of that is because of the mysterious end of her life.
But also too like her manner of writing. I thought she had like very distinctive
Mm.
style. Um, maybe not as is not as subtle as like a Raymond Carver or a Achiever, but it's good. Like very, I just like the vividness of her words and her descriptions are beautiful, especially in this story
Mm.
too. You could tell just. I don't think you don't have to be a fan of literature, but you could just tell from just reading her stuff that she definitely has a knack for writing in general. And writing about themes. I mean, the Bell Jar
Yeah.
was exploring themes of like what everything you were talking about, depression and mental illness. Maybe something that a woman writer wasn't exploring back then. She was definitely
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a
There was definitely discussion around her um, learning from other female authors, you know, because
yeah,
she went to a seminar where there was a couple of authors and one of them was female, and it was she learned to kind of focus on the female perspective, which
yeah,
you would think would just make sense for a female author, but a lot of them weren't doing that at the time.
yeah,
Um, they were writing to a male audience.
yeah,
So yeah, it was interesting.
yeah,
Um, you and I spoke briefly about this, but I really gravitate towards poets who write prose
yeah.
because I'm not a huge poetry fan. I said to
Neither am I.
Itchy that I feel like it should either be prose or it should be like it should either be a story or it should be a song, and poetry kind of sits in the middle for me. So
Mm,
there are certain poets I do love, but overall, I would say I'm not a huge poetry person. But I love novels written by poets
yeah,
because you get this beautiful language and these
a hybrid of things.
poetic
Yeah,
descriptions.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to go there, but
Hmm.
keep within the parameters of a story. Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like from the stories I pick or talk about that I love stories that have numerous implications, vague
Hmm.
endings and things like that. I like putting the pieces together myself or having a conversation about it. I don't like stories that are too deliberate or have anecdotal endings and or some moralizing thing. It's just I like to kind of be suspended in modernistic fiction. I like that. I do well, but put me in a front of a poem, I'm lost. I have a hard time. I feel like that's too free. That's
Mm.
that's I can't. I don't have anything to grasp. I mean, I may pick a line or phrase here or two, but I just, in terms of the whole thing, I give it up to poets because I have friends. I have a friend that has his MFA in poetry, and he if he knows how to go about poetry, but he also says like let's read it like you just read anything. I have a hard time. It's almost like reading a different language, so I just can't put the pieces
Yeah.
together. But put me in front of experimental fiction, things like that. I'm okay because it's like even as wild or subtle as the story gets, I still have I can still hold on to the edge of the pool. I'm not drowning. I know, like
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I can feel the edges here. This is a story. I just have to put it together myself. I don't. I like that. That's my territory. But
Mm-hmm.
in poetry, I'm just in the middle of the pool drowning. I don't know what to do. I'm grasping on anything.
No.
People, people's arms, floats.
Like, wait, help.
Hello, I'm dying.
Um, well, the story we have is initiation.
Yes.
Uh, I I have never read any Sylvia Plath. I probably knew more about her life than I knew about any of her fiction.
Yep.
Um, but this story starts in a basement.
Yeah.
Um, and it already, like, this is a perfect example. She says the basement room was dark and warm, like the inside of a sealed jar. Saying like the inside of a sealed jar is like a poet's way of describing it.
And
And
it's
that's
and
what I
it
mean by like love and
and I've been
poetry
in
or
basements
poets writing fiction.
in the scene, and then that's a great description.
Hmm.
Simile, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um yeah, so there's this girl, Millicent, and she's in this basement. She is waiting to find out if she is going to be allowed into a sorority.
mhm.
Um she is, uncomfortable because she's
In the stank
got
room.
egg on her.
Yeah.
She's knelt down on the floor, blindfolded. Um, she's not been allowed to talk or laugh or anything like that. And she can like feel the egg like still on her.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that, people chose to endure this.
Yeah.
Like
Well, we
they
find
knew
out
what
why.
sort of stuff would happen to them and they still say, "Yep, that's worth it to me."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it starts off it starts off like almost we see the present situation, and then it goes back.
Hmm.
We
Yeah.
learn, she's there. She hears, we know that she's blindfolded. We know that there's egg on her head. It's dark. They're in the what the corridors of she was led there through by the other
Hmm.
girls in the sorority. This is Betsy Johnson's house, another one of the
Yeah.
girls. And then we some phrases like words or rat court are
Yeah,
said.
that's what they call us.
That's what they call this
Hmm.
ceremony, or hazing ceremony.
Um, yeah, she's and the thing is at that moment she's like, but who wouldn't want to be me? What girl at Lansing High would not want to be in her place right now?
Yeah, yeah,
Because where she is about to be let into the social elite.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
She's so let's just now that we know that now the author gives us like this present situation, then we kind of she goes into what this what led her to this,
yeah.
and we find out that Lansing High is a typical high school, and there is like this high school sorority that's
Yeah.
pretty well known. Even there was a part that said even the teachers knew about
Yeah.
this. Like the teachers they would know when students were being initiated or chosen
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
there
and
was
they
some
didn't agree with it, but
no,
they
but they
kind
could
of couldn't stop it.
yeah they couldn't do anything because it was out. It was I mean there was stuff that a lot of stuff was done in school, but a lot of stuff was done out of school as well. So they really couldn't say anything, and
Hmm.
maybe I think the adults just viewed it as part of high school. It didn't seem like
Mm-hmm.
it didn't seem they may have
Didn't
had
seem
a
like out
problem.
of the ordinary.
It seemed out of but it didn't seem like they were also. It didn't seem like they were doing bad things either, based on
No.
like horrible things. It wasn't like these egregious
Yeah.
tests and stuff. So so to go in this, you have to be chosen.
Mm-hmm.
And with this, if you get through everything, you get to be in, like Shiny said, the social elite in the school,
Mm-hmm.
and that's and a lot of the I have a feeling, or from when I was reading it, a lot of the girls that were chosen were not really the most popular girls. They were just maybe girls that would want to have that elevation, social elevation, or they would. So maybe they would they would be more enticed to stay with it or go through with it
Mm.
because they had to. I didn't feel like the sorority had to entice anybody. Once they got chosen, they were like, "Oh yes, this is great. This is going to be everything I need."
Yeah, I felt a bit like this wasn't, at college, sororities are very selective because they kind of can affect the rest of your life. People in sororities or fraternities maybe get a leg up in their jobs later on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like this didn't have that same level. This was really only about being at the top of the pack in high school.
Yeah, yeah. But
Um,
high school is important. I mean,
no, no, it definitely
high
is.
school is a formative years. People, there's people that come back to high school or go to their class reunion to prove a point. So high school affects.
Hmm.
They try to, if like they were made fun of it in high school. I don't want to come. You always see these movies of people coming back to high school in like Corvettes or something, just to show that,
Yeah.
prove to everyone that they've made it, or they're not the same person.
Hmm.
So yeah, this need to be accepted is probably more so in high school than even in college.
Yeah.
Because you get blend in college. This is high school's. People are still. I think people still have bad, like, nightmares from high school. So anyway,
Yeah.
um, so tell us about, like, how So she gets picked.
Yeah. But Millicent is an odd one. You know, she has like one friend, Tracy. Um,
Mm-hmm. That's her best
they
friend.
they aren't popular.
Nope.
They, they stick to themselves. They're happy, the two of
Yeah.
them, it
Mm-hmm.
seems, but they are each other's only friends, really. But Millicent, got picked and Tracy didn't.
Yeah.
And
She
Tracy
feels Millicent.
fears that.
Well, Tracy, yeah, but Millicent also has guilt, a little guilt from that.
Mhm.
And she's worried
Mhm.
that, and you said Tracy fears that. That's true. Like, Tracy's like, this is going to change things. You know that
Yeah.
if your popularity goes up, you're going to have a new wing of different kinds of friends. You're not going to have time for me. And
Yeah.
as much as Millicent tries to maybe, like, calm her down, or reason with her, Millicent also knows that there's some truth in that.
Mhm.
She will she will elevate, and she'll have different things, and maybe she'll have pressure not to hang out with Tracy. Like, they're not, like, in Millicent's defense, she also says, like, yeah, why wouldn't you want to change? People change.
Yeah. Well, and Tracy says nothing ever stays the same, and Millicent's like, that's true.
Yeah,
It wouldn't
yeah,
it wouldn't it would be horrible if people didn't, if things didn't change. Um, I think what's really interesting here, I, for myself, super empathize with Tracy. I feel like
yeah,
I was that person so often.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, 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 yep,
but at the same time, I also empathize with Millicent. It's so intoxicating to be chosen,
yeah.
to,
I
to
actually,
think that
yeah.
people want you.
Reading this again, I like. I didn't really put. I didn't. I kind of not. I didn't skip over, but I'm seeing this conversation in a different light. I think
Mm,
it's such an important conversation, because you could tell both are caring about each other. They both they're also not um, avoiding reality or accepting reality. They know like, okay, I will probably change, and
Hmm.
things will be different, but how are we gonna
But not
navigate that?
necessarily worse.
Yeah, yeah, but things will be different. We can't like no one's giving empty promises.
Yeah.
No one's over promising. Like I make sure I'll talk to you every Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'll just it's not like it's not Millicent is giving her like telling her oh we like giving her specific things. I think it almost it hints at their friendship
Yeah.
that you could have an actual talk with somebody, your friend, and talk about the possibility of like not being things not being the same and like not coming from a place of defense, like not being defensive. Just having a
Yeah.
conversation about it, and it was just, I think it was a beautiful moment, and it shows the closeness between these two people.
Yeah, because I think Millicent also fully believes that if she's in that group, she can find a way to get Tracy into that group the next time.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you know, she'll know how to get her through.
Hmm.
Um,
So
yeah, and so Millicent gets one of the girls uh kind of to talk to give her a heads up about what she's about to go through and kind of um give her a leg up a bit because um this girl knows what is coming Millicent's way. Her name is
Betsy Johnson,
Louise.
is it
No,
Beth?
Betsy Johnson is the
Oh, I'm sorry.
um Betsy Johnson is the one who invites her, but it's
Oh,
Louise
Louise.
Fullerton
Yes, yes, Louise. Okay, I'm sorry.
who kind of gives her like
The rundown.
the side advice, yeah.
Yeah,
And like
Louise Fullerton. Yep,
warns
yep,
her
yep.
that she's got Bev, who is the worst.
Yeah,
And just kind of tells her how to deal with Bev so that
yeah.
she has the least amount of trouble with her.
I don't even view Louise Fullerton as a bad person. I think she's talked. She wants to give it her advice. I feel like like it's not coming from a
Hmm.
bad place. She's
No,
saying
no,
this.
no. I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
she's like trying to badmouth Bev.
No.
I think she's just, if I knew someone really hated it when you used the term asparagus, I don't know why someone would, but I would warn you. I'd be like, look, I'm going to introduce you to this person. Just whatever you do, don't talk about asparagus, and you'll be
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
That's a ridiculous thing, but that's kind of what I feel like Louise is
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. It comes from a place of this, this. I'm not going to tell you how to deal with it. I'm not going to tell you that things are not going to be uncomfortable. However, I'll give you some. This is like you may not want to push back against this person. This is some practical advice.
Hmm.
It's up to you to get through with it, but I want to let you know things that would be important during this little hazing journey.
Hmm.
So in that we find out she mentions the name. What exactly does she say? She definitely mentions Bess.
Bev.
Bev. Sorry, Bev. As being
Yeah.
like the almost authoritarian.
Yeah, because Louise says, I'm glad that they voted you in. I'm really thrilled. And Millicent says, I'm really thrilled to get the invitation. And you know, she mentions her friend Tracy.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, that's a
and
big turning point
Louise,
too. Yeah.
yeah, Louise says to her, she's nice, but she had three black balls against her. And
Yeah.
it turns out that when they're picking who they're going to invite in, if you get three black balls, that's you out. And where does it say? It says that um I thought it was interesting to say they keep it down to a minimum of catting. So it's not like people just uh hate this girl so they say awful things about her. They try to be
Objective.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Millicent's is saying, "Hey, would you mind telling me why she wasn't picked? I'm just curious. This is her best friend. And
Mm-hmm.
she's just curious, like why wasn't she picked? And then she is told that she's cool, she's
It's
friend,
because,
yeah,
yeah,
she wears knee socks, and they think
she's too
that's
different.
too different, yeah, whatever that means. She's too different. She wears knee
Mm.
socks.
And
Um,
she carries an old book bag.
yeah, so they think that is too many strikes against her,
Yeah, they're
and
like, You're dead wrong wearing knee socks. Doesn't matter
yeah,
how cold it gets. Don't wear knee socks."
it was like
Um,
a fashion, like almost looking at her like a fashion disaster. Like, oh my god,
yeah,
how did she do
which
this?
is hysterical because when I was in high school, knee socks, a plaid skirt, and a little white button up was like it, with your
Yeah,
combat boots, of
yeah,
course,
yeah, yeah,
or your Mary Janes.
yeah. So
Um,
yeah, so she I think Millicent gets this information. She goes, oh, okay, oh,
yeah, but
really,
it's
all right.
something she puts in her head.
Let me store that.
She's thinking about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. And then Louise says, "You've drawn Beverly Mitchell for a big sister. I want to warn you that she's the toughest, but if you get through all right, it'll be the more credit for you."
And
So
yeah,
it's very much, Bev wants things the way Bev wants them,
mm-hmm.
and Millicent just has to be meek and obedient
Yep.
and do whatever she tells
And
her.
that laugh, that
Don't talk
smile,
back, don't laugh. Yeah. Just
yeah.
play it cool, and if you make it through Bev, you're sailing in. That's, you know.
So Shadi, I think it's important also to mention what this big sister arrangement is, because I don't think we.
Right, yeah. So the big sister is um pretty much the person who controls you for the week of initiation.
Yeah.
You have to do what they say, no matter what it is. You can't talk back to them.
Yeah.
You can't smile. You can't laugh. You just have to be theirs to
Obedient.
do
Yep.
whatever they want and be obedient. Um, and Millicent already in her head is starting to question this. She's like, what is it supposed to prove anyway? That I can take orders without flinching? Or does it just make them feel good to see us run around at their beck and call?
Yeah. So I
And I,
feel yeah. It's like she's already like it's. I like throughout the story you're gonna notice that there's the red flags are coming out a little bit.
mm-hmm,
Like you see in the beginning of the story, you see someone who's very enthusiastic about this thing, and then we slowly the apprehension, not the I wouldn't say apprehension because not fear, but like she's thinking about this critically. Like, okay,
mm-hmm,
you don't. Well, the first strike, you picked me, but you didn't pick my friend, and you didn't pick my friend for reasons that were I don't think are legitimate. And now
mm-hmm.
you're telling me I have this big sister arrangement, and from what you say, it seems like a bunch of people on like power tripping, a bunch of authoritarians
Mm-hmm.
power tripping, and I have the worst one. I'm
Yeah.
told I have the worst one. So like I think these three things are sitting with her, as well as the conversation she had with her friend, with her best friend, saying that because I felt like that it wasn't resolved. Like Tracy Tracy was worried that things would change. They both agreed that things would change. They don't know what that was told, what that entailed, but they knew that something was, changing. And I think that after that conversation, that was the first thing that made her, question. It kind of snowballed from there. But as we go on, we are, I think we go right into the first. Um,
Yeah, they have to meet them right away.
Yep. Yep.
And Bev is tough.
Yeah.
Um, she expects Millicent to walk behind her.
Yeah.
She's almost malicious with her. She calls her gopher.
Yeah, she get up, gopher. Like
Um,
she comes in. When they go to meet her, she just sees. She opens the door. What was it? She rang the bell and sat down on the steps to wait for Bev. For a few minutes, the front door opened and Bev was standing there, her face serious. Get up, gopher. Bev ordered. Ordered.
yeah,
It wasn't even like hello.
ordered. And Millicent's immediately annoyed.
Yeah, yeah,
And it even says, this is a denial of individuality, and rebellion floods through her.
yeah, yeah,
But she does what she's told. She
yeah.
gets up.
And it doesn't. Bev doesn't really shy away from using language, using more derogatory language. She goes, "Are you
Yeah.
deaf?" I said, "Get up."
Yeah.
And
She makes her go upstairs and make the bed and clean her room.
yeah, yeah. Go Bev.
But Millicent does it because even though she is rebelling in her head, she finds it funny. She's
Yeah,
like, it's absurdly funny me taking orders from this girl like a servant.
yeah.
And so instead of like getting angry, she's just amused by it. But Bev, of course, does not like that.
No,
She
no,
doesn't,
no.
she's like, wipe that smile off your face. She commanded. All of these like things that she says are orders. They're
Yeah,
commands.
yeah,
They're not suggestions. They're not requests.
yeah, yeah.
They are expected to be behaved.
Yep.
And Millicent doesn't think it's fun. She thinks that Bev is power tripping and is getting off on this.
Mm-hmm.
But she continues to do what she's told, walks behind Bev 10 paces, carries her books. They go to the drugstore before school. This is crazy to me. I didn't do anything before school. I was last minute. The fact that these people got up,
Yeah.
did stuff, met up before school, that boggles my mind.
You would be more mouthy, I think. If someone they
I would be more. I wouldn't have even been asked in the first place. They've been like, no, she's too much trouble. But yeah, so they gather all of the girls with their initiates. The boys are there as well.
Yep.
And they're like, what can we what will we have them do? Because they're kind of trying to get them to do these ridiculous things to see if they do it. And there's this boy, Herb Dalton.
Dalton, yeah.
Yeah, Herb Dalton. Sounds like somebody who sells food.
Sounds like something you put on turkey.
Yeah, this turkey has been seasoned with Herb Dalton. So it's funny because when Herb speaks, Bev adjusts herself. She,
Yeah.
becomes softer. She clearly likes this boy.
Yeah, yeah.
But she still follows the rules. She's like, you can't tell them what to do. Men have nothing to say about this. So then Louise is like, look, it's almost 8:30. We better get them marching to school.
Yeah.
So they had to do the Charleston. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
One moment. There was something about that. I don't know if you got that vibe, Shiny. But it's like this was the thing. They were trying to figure out what should we have? What would we have them do? All these initiates. And I didn't like the way. I felt that there was like sexual connotation to that answer from Herb. He was like, "I know what they could do." And that's how I read it, and I was like, "Okay, that sounds creepy." Like it felt like he was gonna say like, "Oh, they're gonna do something to me."
Yeah,
And
no, I
didn't like
saw
that.
a little.
I didn't. Yeah, when I read that, I had to do a double take. I thought that he was just being. He saw girls that were being,
subjugated,
and he was also wanted to be involved. It says a lot about his personality. He could be. I don't know. I just didn't trust him. I don't. And
yeah.
the way the story goes is you think that he's good, but I don't know. I don't after I don't like that exchange.
No, no. I mean, and I think when you look at the kind of hazing rituals in fraternities,
Yeah.
a lot of that is very sexual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, it seems like, and I'm not trying to be like down with men, but it seems like when men want to belittle other men, it's always sexual. It's always like they they put them in diapers and make them walk around naked and
Yeah. It's more of a
it,
uh,
it
command to masculinity.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um yeah, so they go to school, but they force the girls to do the Charleston the whole way to school.
Yeah.
And they each had to sing their own song. So there's five girls doing the Charleston, each singing a different song. It would have been ridiculous to see.
Yeah.
Um,
And everyone who remember everyone the school is understands this. So
mm,
when 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 they see these girls acting crazy, it's an indication that these are the ones that are being initiated. So it's an understood spectacle.
yeah.
So it's
And of course,
yeah,
once they
which is
get
probably
to
more
school,
embarrassing.
yeah, of course, because everybody knows what's happening. Um, but yeah, once they get to school, they can't do as much stuff because, they're at school now. The teachers will expect a certain level of uh
Decorum.
behavior, yeah, and decorum. But they still find a way to get at these girls. They have all the best looking boys go ask them out to try to get them to react because these girls aren't meant to talk
Yeah.
or smile or laugh the whole time that they're initiates.
Yeah. Did we,
Um,
did we mention that also that about the makeup thing or that later on? There is something about like wearing makeup. I'm not sure if that's later on, but
the
I think that during this week they're not supposed to wear. They have to wear their hair.
Yeah, they can't wear makeup. They can't curl their hair.
They have to wear it
They have
natural.
they have to be as plain as possible that
Yeah.
whole
So that's another
week.
indicator that these girls are going through this hazing. So I mean, you just come to
Hmm.
school. I'm assuming this school is the women are dialed up. A lot of them wear makeup and everything else, and then they're so to see a girl without makeup is like something. It seems weird. It's that you stick out.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, for sure. I think in this time period, because this would have been what, 50s. It was especially important that you didn't leave the house without,
your face on.
being put together. Yeah.
Yeah. So like again, another even though if the teachers don't condone this activity, they know who's going through it because they see, oh, this girl doesn't have her makeup and her hair's looks like the way she want, it's combed regularly.
Yeah.
A comb in the regular way.
Um,
It's not. That's not dull. It's not curled or
yeah,
styled.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these boys were in on this, and if they went back and said, this initiative uh, responded to me or whatever, it would be a black mark against that girl.
Yeah.
So
They would
it
flirt with.
turns
They
out
would. They
her,
would. They would flirt
yeah,
with
they
the
would flirt
girls.
with them and try to get a reaction. So it turns out Herb Dalton is coming for Millicent. And we get a little revelation here about Millicent. She clearly likes him
Mm-hmm.
because she says he's too princely, too dark and smiling, and I'm much too vulnerable. Why must he be the one I have to be careful
Yeah.
of?
She
So you get
wanted
the
anybody else.
impression, yeah, if it had been any other guy, she would have been like, I don't care about you. That's no problem. But this guy is the one guy that she kind of would be okay dating and,
I mean, she's a little
maybe has a little crush on him.
enamored with him from the like.
Hmm.
She can't hide her face. I mean, I'm sure she
Yeah.
blushed and things like that.
Yeah.
And he picked
But
up.
he doesn't give her a hard time.
No, no.
He kind of speaks to her very low so nobody can overhear it. Tells her she's doing a good job and says that he likes her hair straight. So, despite the fact that you got like weird vibes off of the start, he seems
I
he
don't
seems
know.
to come to her with a little kindness, I
Oh, but the
guess.
kindness with us. I think that's this ulterior motive. I get.
You always
I
see Ben in the worst light.
because I am one. I know how to act.
Oh.
That was a work. He's like, oh yeah, you look your hair looks straight. I like you. Oh, I like you. That's the way you are. Oh, he likes her. And he's trying to this throw game in that way. That's his angle. Sorry, Herb. Game over, Herb.
Sorry, Herb. Well, Bev isn't going to allow this anyway. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, that's even worse
she
because
clearly likes Herb herself.
yeah, doesn't like this little exchange as
Yeah.
low and uh they're following the rules, but there's a lot of unspoken body language, unspoken communication that shows that they're like flirting. This is
Hmm.
pisses Bev
Pisses Bev
off.
off.
Yeah.
She's like, why waste your time with gophers? Their
Oh,
tongues are tied, but completely. And Herb,
Bev.
like, Herb still is like in this because he's like, but that one keeps such an attractive silence. So
Yeah, he's a
he's
creep.
kind of,
Attractive
yeah.
silence. Who the hell?
Like
Jesus.
what that
Yeah.
does
Okay.
give like total misogynistic man vibes
Attractive
right there.
silence. Okay, dude. I'll see you on the Supreme Court in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Herb.
Oh man.
Um. So yeah. So and all this is happening. Bev can't control that, although she does have a. It kind of makes her power seem weak because they're
Yeah.
doing this in front of her. Um. So
She still is like because she was getting ice cream when this exchange happened. She still goes to the counter and has her ice cream with Tracy.
yeah, yeah.
Um
This is Tracy's
and
her best friend.
Yeah, Tracy's still her friend. You know, she's managing to keep her connection with Tracy while still following the rules.
Yeah.
Um and Millicent is like telling her how she thinks tonight's the worst.
Hmm.
They're gonna all go over to a town square, and Tracy's like still on her side. She says just keep a poker face outside, but keep laughing like mad inside. So it's almost like the two of them already have this view that this is all ridiculous,
Yeah.
but
Just do
you
it.
know,
It's gonna help you. Like
just do it and get through it.
what a good friend. She's
Yeah,
pretty much
I
saying
wrote
like,
that actually. I printed the story out and I wrote "good friend" next to this section.
yeah, yeah. Like so it's like there's a possibility that Tracy will be left behind, in a different social sphere
Hmm.
after this initiation. She might not be, yeah, and she's not. It's like the same like that story we read, um, about the girl. What was it? The one about the girl who was talking to the boy, and
Oh, the dancing
the
one.
dance one. Yeah, it's a little bit like that. Like at the end of the
Hmm.
story, she's not mad. She's understanding. She's like, you know what? If I was in a position, I would want to be popular too, and it would have an
Hmm.
effect on me. So like, how can I? How it's like Tracy's saying, like, how do I get mad at Millicent? If
Yeah.
maybe if I was asked, she would want me to do it too, or I I shouldn't feel guilty for having to feel wanted and popular because I think
Yeah.
at the core of everything, people want that a little bit.
And I think they have a good relationship, so there's some understanding there that whoever gets lifted up will try to take the other one with them.
Yeah, I'm not getting the impression that Millicent is going to change, but I still think people change when
Mm.
you have that power.
Yeah.
When I always think like if you were, if I don't know what I think some president said that like you're the judge your character is judged by what you would do if you had unlimited power.
Mm.
It's like
Yeah.
how if you're a superhero and you could and you could look through walls, would you go past sorority houses, or would you cover your eyes? Like, even though you have the
Yeah.
power, would you use it
Yeah.
and use it in a bad way? So,
Man, I'd be so messed up if I had that power because I already can't help how observant I am. That would be the worst. Um, yeah, no, but that's a valid point. Like, if Millicent gets into this group and does get that social status, will she, with the best intentions,
yeah,
still forget about
I think
Tracy? And
it's not as much as we see, like, we're judging Millicent's personality, or we're seeing, we go, oh, that's a good, I like her attitude. We still don't know how someone would react, someone would act.
yeah,
So it
uh,
goes. They talk
yeah,
about Herb
they're on
Dalton
the
for a
yeah,
second.
because they're on the bus. They're on the bus to um go to the square. And Millicent and Bev are alone. They got a bus ahead of the other girls, so they're alone. And Bev is cross because she says, you were talking to Herb Dalton at lunch. And Millicent's honest. She says no, because she didn't talk to him. She smiled, but she didn't talk to him. But Bev's like, well, I saw you smile at him, and that's practically as bad as talking. So don't do it again.
Wow.
Um,
So, it's upper
and
hand.
Millicent doesn't talk back. You know, um she just is silent. And Bev gives her this task to go up and down the bus asking people what they eat for breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she can't tell them why she's doing this. She just has to do it. Um Millicent really didn't like this. She didn't want to do it. But, she has to do this. She has to do what Bev says. So she starts asking people what they had for breakfast. She's
Well, she says
she just tells them
I'm taking a
she
survey.
says I'm taking a survey. What did you have for breakfast? And people answer her. Um she goes through several people.
Yeah.
Um and finally there's one man left in the back seat of the bus. And
Yeah.
this guy is described as small and jolly, with a ruddy, wrinkled face that spread into a beaming smile as Millicent approached.
Mm-hmm.
She asks him, what do you eat for breakfast? And he says, heatherbirds, eyebrows on toast, which is a ridiculous answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and Millicent's like, what? She's taken back by this. And he says again, heatherbirds, eyebrows. Um, And he says that heatherbirds live on the mythological moors and fly about all day long, singing wild and sweet in the sun. They're bright purple and have very tasty eyebrows.
Yeah. And
And
and most.
Millicent can't help herself. She starts laughing.
Yeah,
But she's not laughing at this man. She just
no.
thinks this is the most wonderful thing that he said. Um, and she felt comradeship with this stranger.
Yeah.
Um, she had it's a really good exchange for her.
Yeah. It was.
Um,
And this, this whole, it was an initiation thing. It was supposed to, like, be embarrassing for her, and yet she turned it into something else because of this exchange. She kind of forgot she was doing this was an initiation task.
no, she wanted to just keep
talk.
talking to this
So
guy
she
because
did.
he was interesting.
He goes,
to
"Are you
her.
mythological too?" And he goes, "Not exactly, but I certainly hope to be someday. Being mythological does wonders for one's ego." So it's like she's loving this conversation. She thinks this guy is like a good oddball. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't get any threatening vibes or anything.
No. He seems real chill, real he's just living in his own world and
Yeah.
has invited her to have a peek in.
Yeah.
Um,
This has, like,
so
in the story. This was a. I feel if I wouldn't say like there's a little bit of an epiphany she has from this.
It's the whole turning point of the story, I think.
Yeah,
You know, there's moments before where you understand that she has this rebellion against this thing that she's doing. But at this moment, I think everything changes for her.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I'll go into like the when we went to close this story. I want to I'll go back to the scene and just the importance of the scene and how it maybe mirrors the larger like this is like a microcosm for something else. But
mhm, mhm.
I think but yeah,
But
she changed. She changed.
because of that interaction with that man, she is lighter going into this evening. You know, when she spoke to Tracy, she said this is going to be tough. But now she's cheerful.
Yeah.
She's
But in a
happy.
different
She
the
doesn't
energy, but the energy is different. It's not like
yeah.
she doesn't seem excited, but she has. I think she has a new perception.
Well, she doesn't care about embarrassment now.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what they. That was the whole thing is just to be embarrassed.
Yeah, the point of this is they want to embarrass her, but now she's not embarrassed.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
she knows that heather birds are a thing and their eyebrows are tasty and it embarrassment doesn't even matter.
yeah.
um
It's freeing.
but yeah, she's like she says so many or it says so many people were shut up tight inside themselves like boxes. Yet they would open up, unfolding quite wonderfully if only you were interested in them.
Mm.
And really, you didn't have to belong to a club to feel related to other human beings.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I could even go to it now. It would make sense. Like the bus. This man is on a bus with all these people. They're. He's part of society. Yet he is on his own. He has his own different. He has his own vibe.
Mm-hmm.
He has. It's different from everybody else. Had relatively like conservative breakfasts. He was had says his answer was so outlandish.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he was still on. But it doesn't matter how weird he was. He was still on the bus like everybody else. So it was almost like
Mm-hmm.
you could have you could stand in both worlds at the same time. It's
Mm-hmm.
not impossible, and this bus shows that I'm traveling everybody here, but I'm not. I don't have to have the same breakfast as you. Yeah, we are going in the same direction. I have a life. You get off on one stop, I get off on another. We go to different
Mm-hmm.
jobs. We come home to different houses, but doesn't mean that I have to do everything the same. So I think that realization helps. It kind of it shows Millicent that hey, why do I have to? There's no choice. Exclusivity is not as attractive as I think it is, and maybe I just don't
Yeah.
want. Maybe I don't want exclusivity. I want I don't know. I want all access to everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, we kind of switch scene here because Millicent has a discussion with one of the other initiates um, about what it would be like when they're in the sorority.
Mm-hmm.
And Leanne, the girl she's talking to, says, "Oh, I know what it's like. My sister belonged before she graduated from high school 2 years ago."
Mm.
And
Yeah.
and Millicent's like, "Well, what do they do as a club?" And she's like, "Well, they have a meeting once a week. Each girl takes turns entertaining it at her home." And she says, "You mean it's just a sort of exclusive social group?" Um, and the girl's like, "I guess so."
And this is the part I thought of shiny.
What me?
But because I was
Um,
like, that sounds like something you would say. Like, this is it. No,
yeah,
I don't get a hat. No shirt. No, like,
yeah,
is this a
and
meeting
but
once a week?
yeah, like she's sitting there thinking about this after the fact, and she thought of Herb. Would he be friendly if she wasn't
Mm.
part of the sorority? Would he ask her out if he ever did, just for herself, no strings attached?
See,
Um,
Herb's a dork. Herb's a dork. And she
yeah,
figures it out.
But there's things bothering her.
Yeah,
Leaving
yeah.
Tracy outside, she doesn't want to do that.
No, no, no.
Um, and Millicent recognizes that that likely will happen because if she has to be doing things with these other girls all the time, she won't have as much time for Tracy. So now she's like, is this really worth it?
Yeah.
You know, what do I what do I get from
What
this?
do I gain
Is
from
it
this?
really is it really worth what I have to give up for it? And, she thinks about the heather birds again, swooping over the moors. Um,
Yeah, and the symbolism there is that how the birds are free. These birds are different. They go everywhere. They're birds. There's no tying them down. And she likes
and
that.
sometimes they're lonely too, but the freedom is worth that,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
And they may
And
look strange, but they have the freedom to go anywhere they want.
exactly. And, this causes her to make a decision.
Yeah. So
She's
we
she's back in the cellar.
we go back. Well, I think she was always in the cellar. It's just she was, this part of the story. She was the
Oh,
most.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like this was what she was thinking about while she was in the cellar.
Yeah,
Was looking back over the week of her initiation. So we come back into the cellar though, like in the story.
yeah.
Um and she's won. Millicent has won in her mind. She went through the week. She's about to get the thing that at the start of the week she wanted most of all. Um they'll, bring her in. She'll be one of the select flock,
Hmm.
but there's another victory here because now she knows what she wants and she's going to tell them no.
She's gonna go through the
She
whole
she's
thing.
she's waiting for them to accept her so she can then turn them down. And
Yeah,
that's a power move
it is
in
a
my
power move.
opinion.
I will. We talked about this briefly, but um, okay. So if she, okay, the whole school knows this initiation process. They know who gets picked based on signs like the look, them not having makeup, the odd behavior in school and outside of school. People know who's. So it's already like I feel like the spotlight in the school knows like they know that these people are chosen, which makes them cool by default because they're like, oh, these people are chosen, so eventually they're gonna get into this thing. That's not gonna change. Like I don't think the sorority knows. I don't think they bank on the fact that they're already cool going in there. And even I think even looking past the story, like even if they didn't get into the sorority, they still were picked, so they had to have been liked by the sorority panel or whatever. So I think
Yeah.
they get elevated anyway socially. So I don't think they go, oh, you were it's like almost like you were refused or you were casted away. I was like, well, you have to be chosen
Mhm.
first, and to be chosen, you have to have something there. So I don't know. I just see it as a win-win for anybody, even if you didn't get in.
Yeah.
But she chooses like so she's getting in. She turns it down, and she goes back to school. She gets to keep her friendship with Tracy. She gets to kind of shove it to the sorority people because she can be in there, but she chose not to. It's not like she quit during
Yeah.
it. She quit like she got through it all, and then said no. So she's like between worlds. Like she's like this
Yeah.
unofficial sorority girl, but there's also like this outlier who acts,
Yeah.
hangs with her friend Tracy, which is probably going to elevate Tracy some, right? Oh, this
Hmm.
is a sorority girl who said no, and she's hanging out with her.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, who's this
Yeah.
one? And then that Herb is probably like, oh wow, you're really cool now.
Hmm.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I think it gives her power. I
yeah,
don't I don't think, I don't think it always works out that way, unfortunately.
mm,
Um the mean girls. I don't know that the sorority is mean girls, but the mean girls can turn on you. They can be like, you know, if no one else was there to see it, they could all be like, "Oh no, we turned her down." There's stuff that can
Yeah, things
happen.
that could happen, but it if you say you don't want to be part of a club, yet you get accepted, I think it does something to the credibility of the club. It lowers it
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's not. Oh, this person had the key to the city and didn't want it. They gave it back. So what? Why do people? I think it puts. I think if the story went on, it would. It wouldn't. The sorority wouldn't have the same allure that it had in the beginning of the story,
No.
which is a great thing because it's really
No.
nothing like if you. I mean, and I don't think I don't think the attitude. I don't think she was saying she was being mean to the other sorority people. She's like, I could be friends with you,
Mm.
even if I'm not in here. Like I could be friends with you. I could be friends with
Yeah,
Tracy. I could like she didn't
she
say
kind of wants
she doesn't talk
to
crap.
be friends with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not going to come out of it like, well, I turned them down cuz horrible.
No.
She's like, "No, I just want to be friends with everyone.
It's like
I
and
don't
that
I
that's
don't
why I
need
think
exclusivity."
that's why I think she's gonna come out on she comes out on top because if she was vindictive and was like no and I put egg in all their hair and I took a picture and I posted it in front of the school so everybody saw who they really were and I pushed Bev off a cliff. I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting. Maybe I do want to do that.
Why did I go there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll push her. If anybody I'm gonna push off a cliff would be Herb.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them would be great. But yeah, I think that because she's not vindictive, she just comes across. She's this power and I guess like this niceness, empathy, this power in that, and you really if you can't. I can't see the other girl that was giving her like a pep talk who was already in the sorority. I can't see her being mad at. I actually see her probably leaving the sorority at some point. Like I think she's right. Why am I even hanging out here?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, see, I just get the impression that she didn't know. She thought there was more to it.
yeah,
And when she found out there wasn't more to it, she's like, this just isn't worth it.
well, it gives you if the whole hazing thing. If you're not embarrassed, then it doesn't work.
No, that's true. That's true.
It doesn't have an effect.
It has no power over
so it's
you.
like if you're laughing and like doing like this task about having to go up to people on the bus and you're having a good time doing it, the person who's trying to embarrass you this looks bad. It just doesn't like you failed. It doesn't work at
Yeah.
that point. It needs the embarrassment. So it's like for her coming out of the story and not being mad at the girls or and turning it down and all that. They can't. Well, she's not embarrassed and she doesn't think the club is worth being into, even though she passed everything. They can't. What can they do? I feel at that point if the club retaliated, it would just make them look worse.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
oh she quit. She quit. She really quit. Well,
Yeah.
and I think that Millicent could have been like, okay, well, that's what you think. Tell everybody I quit if that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. You're trying to embarrass me. I'm not embarrassed. So I think she just Millicent wins. The story should be called Millicent Wins.
Millicent wins.
Well done.
Well done.
So very cool. I like that.
Um,
I want to eat some of those birds.
Some Heatherbird eyebrows.
Yeah, I want to see some Heatherbird eyebrows.
I don't. Do you know what? I'm such a weirdo. I'm like, as soon as he said eyebrows, I'm like, nope, I'm out. I don't want that.
No, I was like, oh, I don't even like having like one hair in my food. Imagine I can't be.
The quickest way to get me to stop eating is plant a hair in my food. I'll be like, okay, I'm done. That's it. No more food.
Yeah, I agree. So,
right.
that was a fantastic little. So
Yes,
Silvia
thank
Plath.
you for that suggestion.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have ever sought her out actually.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Sylvia. Well, next we are revisiting our weird little friend Truman Capote.
Who has
And
eaten the eyebrows. Trust me.
probably, if anyone has, it's this.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Truman Capote was born in New Orleans in 1921. No, 24. I can read my own handwriting. He had a troubled childhood because his parents divorced. But he was aiming to be a writer by 8 years old. Uh, which is really interesting actually, because Sylvia Plath uh, published her first poem at 8. He wanted to be a writer by the time he was 8. It's very interesting. Um, but he was lifelong friends with Harper Lee, who is one of my favorite authors. His mother remarried and adopted by his father, or his stepfather. Capote worked for The New Yorker as a copy boy, but he was fired for angering Robert Frost. Um,
That's funny.
he is regarded as one of the founders of new journalism, that uses literary techniques that was very unconventional at the time. Journalism was just a reply. Like, saying exactly what happened. It wasn't, they didn't put writing technique into it really. It was just, here are the facts. Um, Capote was openly gay, but he was also a favorite of the ladies. Um,
Mm.
he would stay at houses of wealthy and famous friends, uh, kind of just mooching off of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and many of his works and his life story have been the subject of more than 20 films and television productions.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, as anyone who's a bit of a partier, it's unsurprising that he died of liver disease. But he was only 59,
Yeah.
which, is quite a bit longer than Sylvia Plath, but still not that old.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell of a socialite. I mean, this guy. Well, we always got to go into like. I think that they would.
Who he was
They were
hanging out with.
well, they were told like he could be at a party, a massive party, and you would hear his presence would stick out.
Mm.
He had a very peculiar voice, very high pitched voice, of mixture of. It almost sounded like a catty old Southern lady,
Mm.
and he had like a lisp, but it was I don't know. He's like, I heard that this person over here throw money from the bank. Like that's the that's the way he would talk. He had this like very like when those people like they just tell stories and like I heard something. Oh, I heard over here that this person and people would like because he had this really interesting voice. People would kind of lean in. So he would be at these. Talk about this is the social elite of the time. John F. Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe. Uh, probably what's the name? Marx. What's this with this mustache?
Groucho.
Like all these people. In that whoever was in movie stars and everything, he would be at these parties and
Mm-hmm.
attracting the attention of the whole party. Like people would be gathered around
Yeah.
him because he was first of all he was super intelligent. He learned to read at like 3.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
reading at like a middle school, high school level. Well, he knew more for his age, and so he knew people. He knew how to he knew how to get people's attention, and he was a short little guy with a high voice, and this people just couldn't get enough of him. And so I think that I say that description because I think it plays a part in the story. And I'm not sure. I think we were going to look at it to see if there's some truth behind the story. But if there wasn't,
Oh, yeah.
if there wasn't any truth to it, I still think that the character in the story is him. Um, I do think that he has a connection to this character, that's having this memory. If there wasn't, if I'm not surprised if it really was him, and this was a real memory. But even if it wasn't, I think it's he puts like his personalities in this story. By the way, this interaction, like
So, I'm unsure. Yeah, the facts are mixed. Um, but it does say it's largely autobiographical.
yeah, I think so.
And describes it might be based on his childhood in rural Alabama with his elderly cousin, Miss Sook Falk.
Yeah, so yeah, okay, I know it.
So I would say it's fictionalized,
Yeah,
but probably has some basis
with truth in it.
in real things that may have happened. Like, so maybe they didn't do exactly everything that the story
But
says,
the
but
relationship,
the feelings
yeah,
the relationship
it
and the
was real.
feelings definitely came from a real place.
Yeah, and a real character too. If his cousin existed,
Yeah.
and
And it's an elderly cousin, so it would have been the same relationship, because what we have here is a woman in her 60s who is friends with a young boy who is her cousin.
yeah,
So they're at different ends of the life spectrum.
yeah,
He's a young boy, 7. He's 7 and she's in her 60s. So there you
yeah,
go. It's there
yeah,
are decades between them.
yeah. You have to have this very beautiful friendship. He calls her
Yeah,
friend.
I'm gonna warn you all right now that I cried when I finished the story. So let's see if I make it through this. Um, yeah, they're best friends. They're, it's she's this oddball, this woman. You know, she's small and sprightly like a bantam hen, which I've seen these hens, and that's a very good description of them.
Yeah,
She'd had a long youthful illness, so her shoulders are hunched. Um, her face is described as not unlike Lincoln's, which Lincoln is not really the best looking guy. I have had people argue with me and say that he's very attractive, but he doesn't do it for me.
he has a face. He's a face for
So
radio.
yeah, so she has like this craggy face like that. Um, but she still has, her face is still finely boned, which, it means it's delicate. Um, but you know, it's quite a juxtaposition, because here's this 7-year-old, she's 60 something. They're cousins, but they're distant ones, but they've always lived together.
Yeah,
Or at least as long as this boy can remember.
yeah,
Um, there are other people in the house, but the way this story reads, they almost don't matter. It's really all about them and how they live, and they're very tied together and kind of in their own world. They're best friends, and he calls they never say her name, but she calls him Buddy. After a friend she had as a child.
in the 1880s. So Jesus Christ.
Yeah, in the 1880s. So long time ago.
A long time ago.
But every year
But
there comes a day.
Before you go, before you
ahead,
say that,
sorry.
there is a detail that I want to mention too, because it's very revealing. She calls me Buddy in memory of a boy who was formerly her best friend. Their other buddy died in the 1880s when she was still a child. And then it says his period, and she said she is still a child. So I just think that's another this 7-year-old.
Another point towards my theory.
It is Truman Capote, because he's picking up on things like, not a 7-year-old wouldn't make that assumption, going, okay, this is an adult in a child's body, but he can. So he knows, this
Yeah.
boy knows that there is some, I would say, arrested development here.
Yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
developmental issues.
But
Uh,
yeah, this continue like this just is another point towards my theory that when something traumatic happens, people stop aging or they
mm.
stop like emotionally
Yeah,
maturing.
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, when this buddy died, her friend, she may have just had a little nervous breakdown, or just this is a PTSD situation. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
she's by, yeah, as we talk about her actions, you'll see that,
Oh,
she doesn't really operate like she normally does,
yeah.
or like
Sorry, my
a.
computer made a noise.
It's okay. My computer made a noise too.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. So keep on going. I'm
um
sorry. I just wanted to mention. I thought that was
yeah, no,
an
no, no.
important part.
I skipped over that and I actually underlined it. I
Mm.
wanted to make that point as well. So thank you for doing that. Um yeah, so every year in November, one day, uh not maybe not always the same day every year, but eventually a day comes in November where this woman announces, it's fruitcake weather. Fetch our buggy, help me find my hat. And
Yeah.
that's the sign. They're getting ready.
That's her. That's her slogan. I think.
Help me get my hat.
No, no, it's fruitcake weather. Like that's her
Oh,
thing. Like
it's
that's her. If
fruitcake
she had a
weather.
line in
Yeah.
like a line in a movie or something like that, it would be that,
Yeah.
or a TV show.
Or a
Di-
TV show, yeah.
Dynamite. It's fruitcake weather.
So, the hat is found, they get the cart, they're ready to go. The first task is to gather pecans for the fruitcake.
Mm-hmm.
And they have their faithful companion Queenie with them. She's a tough little orange and white rat terrier. So this trio, it's them against the world. They're off to go gather pecans for the start of fruitcake season.
Yeah.
Um, but they have to they gather all the kind of leftover pecans. So
Mm.
like the pecans have been harvested already, but stuff always
Comes off.
falls
Yeah.
on, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what you
And
did. Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
they're picking up the leftovers essentially because we come to find out these two don't have a lot of money. Um,
No.
despite the fact that they live in this house with other people, they don't seem to rely on them for their fruitcake endeavor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, so they bring home the pecans, they prepare them, shell them and stuff like that. They have their supper, and it's discussed what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow they have to get all the other ingredients. And
This is his favorite part. He loves this part.
yeah, the lists off all the ingredients. I now know everything that goes. But the problem is before they can get all those items, they have to get money and they don't have any.
Yeah.
So, they gather little bits of money throughout the year. They sell blackberries, they have rummage sales,
Mm-hmm.
they sell jam and jelly and peach preserves. Um, they get flowers for funerals and weddings. They
Yeah.
just make do any way they can, getting money together.
I think they're
And
they're
they enter
they're good at it. They're really
yeah,
they do
yeah,
better
they
than
are.
me.
And they enter contests. Like it's very much, they they get prizes from these contests sometimes. And small prizes. There was once they won 79th prize, which was $5. Um
But still $5 towards the end of the year bank.
Yeah, and they've just entered a contest at the moment for 50 that has a $50,000 grand prize. If you can offer a name for a brand of coffee and that gets picked. Um, they have also previously, they're most profitable enterprise was the Fun and Freak Museum.
Yeah.
The Fun was a stereopticon, which is those glasses that you put like the pictures in, and it shows you kind of a 3D view of
Yeah.
whatever the picture is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But which they borrowed, but I think really stole off of somebody.
A family member.
Yeah, off a family member.
And
And then the freak part of the museum was a three-legged chicken that
they had.
hatched from
They
one of
had.
their hens.
Yeah. So
So
they charge people to see
the
it.
museum was great until the chicken died, and then nobody really cared anymore.
Yeah. But they still got their
But
money.
they always make do. They always end up with money in the fruitcake fund at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Um, they hide it under a loose floorboard, and when the time comes, it's brought out, and they go buy what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we come to find out though that throughout the year, Buddy does get money from his cousin to go to the pictures, or
Once a
to the
week.
movies
Every Saturday.
once a week. Yeah, and he says, well, why don't you come with me? And she's like, no, I'd rather hear you tell it. So she just wants
Yeah.
him to go and come home with a story for her.
And I think that's also telling. It's telling too is that she really loves this kid. It's like she would rather hear him talking about the movie than watch the movie itself. But also hints at maybe her mental.
She probably can't handle going out.
Well, probably can't handle like a movie. Maybe it's just too much for her. But doesn't understand it. I feel like she avoids things that reveal her limitations. So she goes to the movies and she has to. She would ask the child questions, and then she would have to face like public scrutiny, like, why you're such an old woman, why are you asking this 7-year-old about the movie, what's wrong with you? So when I read that,
there's a chance that their relationship would look odd to everyone outside of them.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that meant. It could be lots of things. But she is, as the story goes on, you see that she's apprehensive about strangers in different places. I'm not saying she's agoraphobic. She does her thing.
No.
But
well, I highlighted this section about all the things she hasn't done. In addition to never having seen a movie, she has never eaten in a restaurant, traveled more than 5 miles from home, received or sent a telegram, read anything except funny papers in the Bible, worn cosmetics, cursed, wished someone harm, told a lie on purpose, let a hungry dog go hungry.
Yeah.
But there's a few things she has done. She's
killed the biggest rattlesnake
with
ever
a
seen.
hoe, the biggest rattlesnake, 16 rattles. She dipped snuff, tamed hummingbirds.
Secretly dip snuff.
Yeah, secretly. That's right. So yeah, she's gotten a hummingbird to balance on her finger. She tells ghost stories, which we find out they both believe in ghosts.
I love that. I love that line.
Yeah, but she tells ghost stories so tingling they chill you in July. She talks to herself, takes walks in the rain, grows the prettiest japonicas in town, and knows the recipe for every sort of old-time Indian cure, including a magical wart remover. So the two lists are really interesting to me because the first one, that's a lot of things that normal people do.
Yeah.
But the second one is like things that a little kid thinks are interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Really? No, I think an older person would, like, I would be like, damn, she got a.
Yeah, me too.
Killed a rattlesnake. But I don't know.
But I feel apart from the growing flowers, I feel like a lot of those things are things that a little kid thinks are cool.
Yeah,
rattlesnake thing. Yeah, she's the ghost stories.
I think he's different. She's different, and he kind of revels in her authenticity. That's really important to him.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
and I feel like she
but
shrinks her worldview for protection. I'm not sure from what,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I think that's like
yeah.
there's a way she
Most of the things she doesn't do are things that involve her
with the
leaving the safety of her home.
yeah, yeah. So we don't know what that means exactly. But it's
Yeah.
like, but it's enough for her, for the narrator, the 7-year old, to say that she's a child. Like, just that's
Hmm.
important. Like, he realizes that no, there's something. She's stuck.
Yeah.
Uh, it's that noticeable. Um, so they just going back to like their little routine. They're going. This kind of goes into like their sleeping arrangements. She goes back in the house. She gets a quilt. She just goes to sleep. Has her like her routines. Um,
They talk about like how they have the money.
yeah, yeah,
And it's all like in small coins. They
yeah.
have $12.73 according to her in small coins. Um he believes that it's 13 according to his calculations, but 13's not lucky, so she hopes that she's right, not him, even though it means they have less.
Very
Um
superstitious. Very
yeah,
superstitious.
very superstitious. But they go get their ingredients, and the
Mm,
one ingredient that's the most expensive is the whiskey.
mm.
And it boggles my mind now because I bought like eggs and some salad today from the grocery store, and it cost me nearly, I got more stuff than that. But like I got like ingredients for making salad, some eggs, and like some meat to put in some pasta this weekend, and it was like 40 quid. And they're like getting enough ingredients to make 30 fruitcakes for
But also
12.73.
inflation and
I know it's a long time ago, but
yeah,
like still I was just like,
it
damn.
still hurts you. You're like, damn.
Um but they have to go, so whiskey cannot be obtained legally.
Yeah.
State law forbids it, so they have to go to Mr. Haha Jones, which is quite possibly the best name.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. He's a American Indian.
yes, yes. Uh, how did they describe him?
Well,
He has this cafe. Um, but they call him Haha because he's so gloomy and never laughs.
it's like someone calling someone
Um,
tiny.
yeah, yeah. But they've never actually seen him before this
No.
time. Um, they've always dealt with his wife. Uh, but they go to his cafe, and the wife is nowhere to be seen, so they have to deal with him.
And they're afraid of this.
Yeah.
Then I'll have to talk to the. It's like they're like it's almost like they have it's like a task they don't want to do. They don't want to have to talk to him.
Hmm.
They're scared.
He's a giant to them,
Yeah, yeah,
and he has scars, and he doesn't smile. This man is
yeah. They got
scary.
Satan tilted eyes.
Yeah, I liked that line. Satan tilted eyes. Um, and
Oh, that
he
was that was his wife.
talks
I'm
about
sorry. That
himself.
was that was his wife saying that. What you want to do with haha?
No, no.
Oh, that was him.
Oh, no, no, it was him. He talks about himself in third person. That's
Oh,
what I was
I
just
see.
about to
Yeah,
say.
I see. That makes it even creepier. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, this guy's scary. I would be terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it says, for a moment we are too paralyzed to tell. Presently, my friend half finds her voice, a whispery voice at best. If you please, Mr. Haha, we'd like a quart of your finest whiskey. Um, but he's like, which one of you is the drinking man? And they're like, oh no, 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 no. It's for fruitcake. We're cooking. And then he's like,
Why would you
well,
waste
that's a
whiskey?
waste of my whiskey.
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
would you do that?
But, he tells them it's $2 and he still takes their money.
Or
Um,
or tries to. Um. She.
yeah, well, when they start counting out the coins, he's like, you know what? Just give me one of the fruitcakes when you're done.
Yeah,
and we'll call it even.
send me one of those fruitcakes instead. And they're like, oh, thank you. But it's like I was. This is a vivid, scene right here. Like this old lady and this little kid are like putting their hands out trying to count all these coins they're storing up
Mm-hmm.
for the whole year, and he's like looking down. So he's not as mean as they think he is. He I think this is like he shows compassion in this scene. He's saying like, why? How do I take $2 from this? It doesn't seem like they have a lot, just based on the way they're counting that. They're paying me in all these little coins.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that line. So he's Mr. Haha is, and he smiles, right?
Yeah.
He actually,
I think they win him over in a way.
yeah, won me over.
I think, yeah, to be honest, I think if I saw the two of them, I'd be quite happy. But yeah, on the way home, they decide that they'll put an extra cup of raisins in his cake, which to me does not sound like a good thing, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be honest,
I like
actually,
I
I'm
love
not a huge fan
I
of
love
fruitcake.
I love that line though. We'll put an extra cup of raisin in his cake.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he
Okay,
said,
well, but this is the thing. You know, they're scraping together the money to make these things,
yeah,
and he deserves extra because of his
yeah. That's
generosity
and
with
it's
them.
not like they really can't pay people back. It like they
Yeah.
can't. It says this is a way of showing thanks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Um. So yeah, they have to make 31 cakes dampened with whiskey, and they get it done. And it's really interesting because it says, who are they for? Friends, not necessarily neighbor friends.
mm,
Indeed, the larger share are intended for persons we've met maybe once, perhaps not at all. And this list is great. They want to send one to President Roosevelt, um, the Reverend, and Mrs. J.C. Lucy, who were Baptist missionaries to Borneo, but they met them one time last winter. Um, the knife grinder who comes through town twice a year,
yeah, yeah,
uh, the driver of the 6 o'clock bus that passes their house every day. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it's just a great list.
And it's not
A
like
cup,
they don't they're it's you get so much you get used to people giving gifts to people for some like I think of a salesperson buying lunch for somebody, but they're not really
mhm,
buying lunch for them. They're like getting the tax write off. This list
yeah,
seems wholesome. I think these are people that somehow crossed in their lives and they feel like they're special. They don't when people are kind to them, I think that it sticks in their minds. So it's like, oh, he was this bus driver with smiles every time he passes our house. He gets a fruitcake. This person
yeah,
is nice, has shown me grace, and they're like, I don't know. It could be. It doesn't seem like someone they see on the regular.
yeah.
So
Um, but yeah, and it seems like they uh they keep like they get things back from this. Like they says the scrapbooks we keep of thank yous on White House stationery, time to time communications from California and Borneo, the knife grinder's penny postcards. So they are genuinely sending these to these people, and they're getting response.
yeah, but if they're sending it
Um,
to the president, is that that's in their mind? Who's not
it's
sending?
not it's not the president. It's like the president. Like it's like maybe the secretary is like, oh, we got another fruitcake. All right, I'll send the reply on the White House station. Like
Eh,
I I remember when my stepdad moved his father into the house with us. He stayed in like there was a basement apartment, but it had like outdoor access.
mhm,
And that's where he stayed. And one year he got a card from Bill Clinton, like a Christmas card from Bill
mm,
Clinton. And I could tell by looking at it that the signature was printed on it, but he was convinced that it was signed by the man himself.
mm,
And he made us get it framed, and because the front of the card was a picture of Bill and Hillary and Chelsea. He made us get it framed, and he put it on the wall higher than our family picture.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'd be like, man, I see how we rate. Um,
Eh,
but yeah, so it means something to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Even if it is something mass produced that, wasn't actually signed by the president.
Yeah.
Um, if you live to be 100 in the UK, you get a telegram from, well, now it'll be the king. It used to be from the queen, but you get a telegram from the king. I don't
Oh.
think they have to do it that often because not many people live to be over 100. But yeah, if you live to 100, you get a telegram from the king.
Mm. Mm.
So it's interesting. These
Yeah.
things matter to
It
people.
does. It does. So.
Um, I don't know if you all can hear it, but my cat has decided that now is the time that he will talk to me. So I apologize.
Oh, that's right. Cat talk is better than no talk. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Um.
um. Oh no. Outernet says that they don't do them anymore. Apparently, that stopped the telegrams from the king.
I was
Oh,
hoping
I'm
for.
so sad. Not, I would not want one, actually. That would be crazy. I don't think I can make it to 100.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so getting back to the story, after they finished all their work, they still have a little bit of whiskey left.
Yeah.
They give a spoonful to Queenie in a bowl of coffee, and they divide the rest between the two of them in, I guess, like little shot glasses. And it's really funny to me that there's a 7-year-old and a dog having whiskey.
And an old lady, older lady.
Yeah, and an old lady. What? But she's allowed.
Yeah, but
The
it's
dog and the
a it's
7-year-old probably shouldn't
yeah,
have it.
yeah, yeah. Well, you kind of seeing with her, like, to her, her judgment. Like, you see if she's so limited with society, I don't think she understands like cultural mores and
Hmm.
uh like behavior that you're supposed to uphold.
Hmm.
So this is like a first sign that there's some kind of mental illness here. It's
Yeah.
not crazy. I think that older. I had beer when I was little, and I know other people have in the Caribbean also drinking is not as not that much taboo around that.
No, my friend, when he was up visiting, they let their, I think he's 10-year-old have a sip of whiskey.
Yeah,
And he immediately handed it back and was like, "No, thank you." But no, not whiskey. I think it was a beer. But he wasn't interested. I think it's interesting because a lot of times um, a child's taste buds aren't prepared for that flavor.
yeah,
Um, because that happens with lots of things. I hated olives as a child. Now I love them. So
mm-hmm,
it's very, your taste buds change as you age.
yeah,
But it also, I've always said this, the fact that these things were not taboo to me means that I never went off the deep end with them
yeah,
because
yeah,
it wasn't this unknown. I
yeah,
I knew exactly what they were like when I got to the age where I could drink
yeah, yeah.
legally. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, they both get a little tipsy and begin singing, but they're singing two different songs at the same time.
Yeah, which attracts the
Which this is,
attention of two other people in the house. That, like I said, we this story seems very insular, but there's other people here. I'm not sure if they always staying at the house. Maybe they come in and out to check on them. I don't know. Like I didn't
No,
feel
it said that they live there.
I
It
lived there.
says that
Yeah,
they live
it's
there, but
weird.
I
Yeah,
think, these people have their own lives going on. Somebody has to do work to keep them fed. So, I get the impression that people get up in the morning, they go to work, they go about their day, and these two are left to their own devices all day.
yeah. Well,
Um,
these two relatives come in and they see this scene and it angers them.
yeah, a
There's
child of 7, whiskey on his breath. Are you out of your mind feeding a child of 7?
must be loony
Must be a loony.
road
Yeah.
to
Ruination.
ruination. I always never that word always boggles me. Remember Cousin Kate, Uncle Charlie, Uncle Charles' brother-in-law, shame, scandal, humiliation, kneel, pray, beg. It's this is not
Beg
all.
the
This is
Lord.
not like a. This is like a religious rebuke as well. So
Hmm.
I didn't. There is this is Christ fearing South right here.
Yeah.
You get it. Even you
And
get
it
it with the.
upsets her.
Yeah, you get it with the friend, with the aunt or the cousin, the older cousin.
The cousin.
You're getting that she has she's a
Hmm.
devout religious
Yeah.
person.
But
So
it's almost like when she's with Buddy, the two of them live in their own world and they're not odd. They're exactly who they're meant to be.
yeah,
But these two relatives come in and she's not stupid. She understands exactly what she is. She says, I'm too old and funny. But she chooses not to dwell on that
yeah.
normally.
There's some what's the word? What's that word? She's in denial a bit. Maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
knowing
Well, and I guess it's because
avoidant.
it's kind of like the guy on the bus in the previous story. He was happy being who he was.
Yeah,
But if somebody pointed out to him how ridiculous he was, he probably knew.
yeah,
He
yeah.
probably knew
You
and he would
don't you don't
probably feel a little bad for a minute.
you don't be reminded.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the
And that's
reason.
how she is.
Maybe that's the
She
reason that she doesn't venture out because she knows
yeah,
that.
because if she did, people would point out how odd she is.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but as long as she's at home, she's okay.
She's
Nobody's gonna call her weird.
she's in that world. She's safe in her
Hmm.
world.
And Buddy loves her, so he reassures her, "You're not funny. You're fun. More fun than anybody."
You know.
Um, he wants to cheer her up.
Apparently, this chastising scares the dog as well.
Yeah, the dog goes and hides.
The drunk dog goes underneath the stove. Um, chin quivers. This dog
Mm,
this dog doesn't want to be like. How dare you? You're a dog. You
yeah.
shouldn't be drunk. I don't know. It's just
Um,
it's
but
funny.
yeah, the little boy cheers her up by saying that tomorrow they can go find a Christmas tree. And that does it because she knows exactly the place where they should go, where the best trees are.
Yeah.
I I was reading this and I was thinking they've gone someplace where someone is actually growing trees to sell and they've just absconded with one of them because it
Oh,
very much felt like she knew where to go because it was a Christmas tree farm.
yeah, yeah.
Um, because
Crafty
they're
little,
very sly about how they come back with that tree.
yeah, crafty thief.
Yeah. But yeah, they all, they the next morning they go, and they get a tree and they pick a nice one. It says it twice as tall as a boy, so a boy can't steal the star. And it was twice as tall as Buddy. So,
Mm.
um, but they bring back this tree and the the suggestion is that as they're coming back, somebody offers them
Yeah,
two bits cash
probably
for the
driving up,
tree.
someone driving up to the Christmas tree farm and going, "Hey,
Probably says, "Oh, that's a good tree."
yeah,
But it's the mill owner's wife as well. She's like, "I want that tree," and they're like, "Nope,
sorry."
uh, I wouldn't take $1." And she's like, "No, $1's too much. 50 cents. That's my last offer." And they're like, "I no, you can't have it." And she's like, "Well, fine, I'll just get another one." And the woman says, "I doubt it. There's never two of anything." Um,
Yeah, I like that line a lot.
yeah.
Things
But
are
they get home. Poor Queenie's exhausted. Um, but they don't. This is what's really interesting to me. Despite the fact that they live with other people, they still don't have like Christmas decorations. They still have to make all their own.
Yeah.
So you would think, like, for instance, when we lived with my grandparents, my grandmother had Christmas decorations.
Mm.
So my mom and I didn't have to have them because my grandma already had them. She'd had them her whole life,
Yeah.
or her whole adult life, So it's interesting to me that in this situation, nobody has any Christmas decorations. Every year they make ones from scratch.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Well, it's also an indication that they don't have a lot of money.
yeah,
They're doing everything they can to cut corners, literally.
yeah,
They get construction paper.
they use construction paper to make the ornaments. They have crayons. Um, they attach them. How do they, with safety pins?
Yeah. Anything
Um,
they can find.
yeah, and Queenie tries to eat one of the paper angels. Um, they make holly wreaths for the front windows. And then they start making gifts for everybody. They make tie-dyed scarves for the ladies and home brewed lemon and licorice and aspirin syrup for the men. It's supposed to be anti-cold medicine for them. Um, but then there's the gifts for each other. And the boy would love to get something wonderful for his friend, but he never can. He doesn't have any money. Um, so he makes her kite. Um, and it's really interesting because she would love to get him a bicycle. She thinks he needs a bicycle.
Mm.
Um, but then she makes him a kite.
Yeah, it's easier, more economical for
Yeah.
her.
And they've been doing this for a few years as well,
Yeah.
making each other kites.
Yeah.
But they've become really good at flying kites as well.
Yeah.
They do take some of the last of their money to get Queenie a bone from the butchers.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrap it up for her. And she knows there's a bone because they put it up at the top of the tree. Um,
I like
but
that.
she knows. And I love this, that she sits there in front of the tree staring at the bone and she won't even come to bed. She's like, it's there.
It's there. She knows it's there. She knows she can't open it up yet, but it's there.
Yeah. But she's going to watch it.
This dog has human-like patience.
Yeah. But yeah, they go to bed, but they both struggle to sleep. And the woman says, this is when I started to get teary. She's like, when you're grown up, you've grown up, will we still be friends?
Yeah.
And Buddy says, always.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
and
a lot of it's like it's like I think you have glimpses of like she seems so present and like just I think she shouldn't let things stop her. She avoids society. She does her own.
mm-hmm.
She does everything. She likes to do things homemade. She has all these. She's very independent in a sense, but she's also I think at moments like that she could only avoid it so much. She knows that time is limited, and she's older, he's younger. Things don't always last forever. They don't last forever. So
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I think she's realistic about. She knows she maybe can't move forward in the same way, but she knows that he will.
Yeah. It's you could avoid reality for so long. I think there's like at moments. I think it as much as she cushions her or puts up barriers between the world and she has like this existence. She goes about her ways. She has this wonderful relationship, and like there's certain things that come that at certain times of the year that it just kind of hits her that okay, this is not going to last forever. And that's her realizing that. I don't. It's the, and I'm not sure if it's because There's a lot of reasons: society, but also her age, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. She is older than him. She will
yeah.
die before him.
But also like yeah,
Um,
but there's also a thing too about her being a provider. She can't always provide him with everything. There's limitations to
yeah.
that, and I think one of them is being, as we realized throughout the story, is money. She doesn't have a lot of
Yeah.
money, and eventually, I know from experience, a child requires more money as they get older,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think she's has the foresight to know that I may not be able to handle this at some maybe,
Mhm.
but right now it seems manageable, but maybe not so when he's 13 or 15.
Yeah.
So
And they have this kind of moment together in the middle of the night where she's realizing that things will change, or maybe not realizing it for the first time, but like it comes to the forefront for her again.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like I said, like you could only suppress so much.
yeah.
Eventually, reality is going to creep up, and it did. It does in
Yeah.
that moment.
Yeah. And they they wake up the next morning. The rest of the family is there. There are more presents because the other members of the family
Hmm.
get the boy presents and get her presents, and he's disappointed. He got socks, a Sunday school shirt, some handkerchiefs, a hand-me-down sweater, and a year's subscription to a religious magazine for children,
Oh, fun.
The Little Shepherd. And he hates it. He hates all of it. It's just he's mad.
Yeah,
Um,
he wants fun stuff.
his The old woman got a better haul. She got Satsumas. Um, that's her best present.
Hmm.
Uh, but she's proudest of the white wool shawl knitted by her married sister. But she says her favorite gift is the kite that he built her.
Yeah,
And, it is beautiful, but he says it's not as beautiful as the one she made for him.
yeah,
Um, and, as soon as they both have their kites open, that's them done. They're out. They're going to go fly their kites.
yeah. They're done with the family meeting.
And yeah, they're like, we're done with all of this. Let's
So
go
it's
have
a windy
fun.
day. Let's take advantage of it.
Yeah. And it says, soon I forget the socks and hand-me-down sweater. I'm happy as if we'd already won the $50,000 grand prize in the coffee test.
Yeah,
Um, this is this is pure joy to me. The two of them out there flying kites.
yeah.
Um,
And probably
and
I don't. He probably doesn't have anybody in the house that treats him as an equal either.
mhm,
Like she has this, he has this relate. Like I don't know. Like some people just can't. I feel like the adults in that house just talk to him like he's a child, but they don't. He talks, but he don't really listen. Where she like
mhm,
he has a relationship with his friend, with his cousin,
mhm.
and maybe that has a lot to do with her mental state. Maybe it's almost like their mental state at this point is lined up. Like
Yes.
maybe she's seven and like 7, 8, 10
Yeah.
in her
Yeah.
mind, and he's but eventually at this time they are like they're the same. Eventually, judging from this, he's already a precocious child. Like he's eventually going to
Mhm.
surpass her. But at this time they are even, which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool, nice to think about.
And she has this kind of epiphany. She thinks that, you have to be sick and dying before you get to see the Lord. Um, but now she thinks that in this moment, with this joy that the two of them are sharing flying kites, that's her seeing God.
Yeah,
That's
like
her
yeah,
um that's how he shows himself to people, is through these moments,
yeah,
these perfect
yeah.
little moments. And she says, I could leave the world with today in my eyes.
Hmm.
Um I'm not gonna get emotional. And it's lovely. It's lovely, this sentiment that, you know, this simple pleasure, the two of them flying kites, is just the best feeling in the world to her.
Yeah. And I think this, and
Um,
it's true too, because like what is this? You get to whatever, however the construct of heaven, and you think it may be a reel of your best moments on life. Like that's like maybe that's heaven.
mm,
Like those are like those moments in life that are like that. Like people think it's like some like thing that's out of worldly or much different from life, but it's just those like it would just be a repeat of those days on Earth as a mortal.
mm-hmm.
Um, and and it also shows that she is having like her. I think it shows that she's having reservations about religion too.
Yeah.
She has a different
Maybe
perspective
maybe
on.
it's not the way she always thought it.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, it turns out that that's their last Christmas together.
Yeah.
Um, he the people in the family decide it'd be better for him to go to military school. Um,
He hates it.
and it says I have a new home now, or I have a new home too, but it doesn't count. Home is where my friend is, and there I never go.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, he has to move on with life. He has to grow up.
Mhm.
But she is stuck where she is. She can't move on from there. Um, she can she unfortunately, Queenie gets kicked by a horse, um, and gets buried in the field where she's buried all her bones.
Mhm.
For a few Novembers, his friend continues to bake the fruitcakes all by herself. And she always sends him the very best of the batch.
Mhm.
But she gets too old for that.
Mhm.
Um, she spends more days in bed than not in bed, because it talked about earlier how certain days to stay in bed,
Yeah.
but now those days are more. And
She
then,
she also starts mixing up the she calls him buddy, but now like she used to call the child a buddy because it reminded her of her friend, but now she started to
now she
think that
believes he is
now
her friend, that
she
died.
that's from the 18 that died in 1880. She's
Yeah,
starting to believe that is buddy, which shows her mental
yeah,
deterioration.
yeah. And 1 year, a November comes where she cannot get out of bed and say it's fruitcake weather. Um, and it says at the end that, when that day happens, that she can't get up, he knows it. He
Yeah.
doesn't he doesn't need a letter. He doesn't need anyone to tell him.
Yeah, he just
He
understands.
he just knows.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna get me again.
It is a Christmas memory. But yes. But yeah, no, it's a very fitting ending, and it shows that why society has to eventually. Am I mad at the family put him in military school? I think it was a thing that you had to do. It was she was regressing, and he was getting older. Yeah, like I said, at that moment they were aligned, but things change, and they couldn't keep that world together. They couldn't keep that going, and I think she knew that too
No.
more than anybody else. But it's and I also think that society doesn't like those relationships. Society is not. It's just too much. It does not. It pushes up against the status quo,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's have a lot. Society has to dictate if this is right or wrong. But also, I mean, she has to come to an understanding too, and that this it's a multitude of realizations on both their ends. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's not like they're coming away with something. It is very sad ending, but I think he's coming away with something. It's empowering for him. He has this great memory, and this
Yeah.
relationship. I think that relationship is going to dictate his rest of his life, his interactions with people.
Mm. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's going to show. He's going to see if someone really likes him or not.
Mm.
Because he's going to say like, oh, my cousin. No one's treated me like my cousin did, and he's going to know real
Yeah.
love. He's going to know understanding. And that's a great. I think as sad as it is at the end, it's very uplifting, too.
Oh, for sure. It's not a depressing sadness. It's just lovely.
Yeah, it's life. Yeah,
Um, I'm not even going to attempt to read the last line because I will be blubbering. But
yeah,
the last line was really a lovely view of their friendship.
oh, totally. But I hope everybody enjoyed the story. Um, if it reminds you of things and conjures up the best of feelings.
Mm.
Um, so,
I was
but
I was actually really surprised by how it got me. I didn't expect it to. I'm not as emotional as a person I am. I'm not a person who cries at books.
I only cry when they're thrown at me. I'm sorry.
Does that happen a lot?
Often. So, but thank you everyone for seeing this story, this reading through the story. I think both these stories, we always like to pick stuff that leaves enough to talk about beyond the
Mm.
page. And these were two stories that were a little more conventional, but still
Yeah.
we were able to talk, expound upon some of these concepts, and I think it's great. Just like I think when I read sometimes when I read these stories when we do a short and a long, I just find these parallels,
Mm-hmm.
like the Millicent and Tracy, that relationship, and the cousin and
And Buddy.
yeah, Buddy and the cousin have that. This nothing is much as you get older, as things change, you kind of I think you realize that these are the most important things, those relationships. So, and it just have how to deal with society, like in the first story of the bus I felt like the bus represented life. This guy had
Mm-hmm.
his this guy was an oddball in the best way. He was doing living life the way he wanted to, yet he was still on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a different breakfast than everybody else, but he was on the bus just like everybody else, and we're in this world
Yeah.
together. We're on the bus, we're on the bus of life, and we can still be ourselves. Doesn't mean we have to get kicked off the bus.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if it gets too weird, yes, you get kicked off the bus. But we in life that you don't have. It's just to me, it's about conformity. Like a big theme in both stories. Like what,
Yeah.
why is this conformity worth it? And can you be? Is it one or the other? Do you have to be a extreme nonconformist to be happy? No, I think it's as much as maybe the friend in the story disliked society, she still had to interact with it.
Yeah.
And as much as Millicent didn't dislike the hazing process and this exclusivity between the sorority, she still has to be there. But yet she could
Yeah.
still have both things. Like you could still have your life.
Mm-hmm.
You could still carve out whatever you consider, whatever version of life you want. You could carve it out in an existing template, so to speak. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we live in a template. So we live in houses. We live in towns that look the same. They have downtowns. They have banks. They have other things. Every town has a middle school, has a high school.
Mm-hmm.
We're all, but we carve out how we want to live that life.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of commonality, there's a lot of pressure to stay within the lines, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't we can keep one foot in our heads and other foot in this reality. So I just like it. I think it's inspiring on both
I
fronts.
I I guess I think both of these stories have a bit of a nod to balance, you know, and it's not about being weird or nonconformist, it's about being yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Millicent was clearly not such an oddball that she didn't get picked to be part of the sorority.
No, she had a little bit of the status quo in her.
Yeah, but the point was she realized that she could just be herself
It'll
and
be okay. It's
that
okay.
was okay.
Yeah.
And I think it was the same in A Christmas Memory. The friend knew that she was odd,
Yeah.
but she she had to interact with people, but she was still true to herself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was all she could really do.
Yeah. She knew that
Um
she had limitations, and I think you do better with limitations. You find ways to live within those limitations. Yeah, the creative ways to live within those limitations. She didn't have a lot of money.
yeah.
Yet she really made this life with her friend. She had such she raised this child, so to speak. Like this child had
Yeah.
I think like if when this child reflects or when he's older,
Mhm.
when Buddy's older, I think he's gonna say I love my childhood. I had the most exciting childhood ever. I would never replace it in the world, and he's gonna come away with that. I'm sure, like when if he decides to grow up and I mean, have kids himself or something like that, he would maybe be like friend, or be like his cousin. Like I can imagine him taking some um like doing some of those things that was done to him on like those kind of activities, like making
Mhm.
making pies and having something to work for. Like what I feel like, as limited as she was, she like he comes away from that with an understanding that you have to, if you don't have money, you find ways to get money if you need it. And it was and you if you, and you're kind to people, not because they do something for you, because you feel that they are kind. Like they were giving out fruit pies, fruit cakes to anybody that was just that they felt deserved it.
Mm.
And I like that. It's just like what a. I think he learned everything he needed to learn about life through her. The
Yeah.
Because that it siphons down to the way you act with people at work. It siphons down to your way you interact with others out of work, with your family. Just it's just it is a good childhood. She provided
Yeah.
even though she had guilt not being able to buy him a bike or this or that. Like
Mhm.
she gave her more. She gave him more than that. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I often think that kind of a non-traditional upbringing of that nature is quite good.
yeah, yeah. No, I do. Um I don't think he would have traded it for the world either.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, it was thank you again for joining us after this holiday.
Yeah.
Our people in the United States, Thanksgiving, and anybody else
Yeah.
observing that,
I think
or enjoying.
it should correct me if I'm wrong, but this will be our new standard time. Um like we'll start somewhere between uh what is it, midday and 1 p.m.
Yeah, yeah.
Um maybe a little later on the days when I have to go into the office. Depends on traffic.
Hmm.
um But yes,
this will be the time slot going forward, and I hope that works for people.
yeah.
But either case, if you do miss it, if this happens a little too early for your schedule, we do have a repository of episodes on YouTube, so you could always go back and check it out.
This is true.
That is true. So, I hope everyone
Yeah,
does.
we'll try to get the video up by Monday. I'm not gonna say promise anything.
I will do it. I'll do it.
No, I wasn't. That wasn't on you. That was
feel
on
the
me.
pressure.
I have stuff to do this weekend before I. But I'll try to get my part of the task done as soon as you get it uploaded.
I blame the muñecas.
You blame it. Yeah, it's always them. They're always getting up to trouble.
I know. And especially today, they're very lazy today. They ate a lot of food. They're drunk in casserole. Someone put whiskey in the casserole. I know. I could tell.
Somebody put whiskey in the casserole. That's why the turkey's so happy.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Turkey's drunk.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a little more yellow. I'm sick, hungover.
Oh no, jaundice.
Jaundice. No, Jesus, that's a hell of a thing. That's so fast. This child, jaundice.
I know this child went straight to jaundice.
Jeez. Afremi said, I'm late. I love the Capote story. Inspirational. Yeah, we were just talking about that. A great story. Please come back for listen. I would like to hear your opinion about our conversation.
Yeah. Afremi, go listen when we get the video up, and you can let us know in the Discord what you think. Yeah, we're always happy to hear from you guys what you think of the stories.
So
yeah.
Okay.
But have a good weekend.
Have
everyone.
a good weekend. Enjoy
coming.
yourself. Happy Black Friday. Go shopping. Eat more. Eat leftovers.
Leftovers. Have a slice of pie for me because I don't have pie.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
All right.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.